You have been involved in 1, 2, 3, and now the 4th Innovation Center. How did it all start, and why the city of Dubai?
So it all started with a vision. So I left Nigeria in 2011 with a vision to learn as much as I can about innovation and contribute in some way. So I came to Dubai for an MBA in HALT, International Business School, and then from there went into a far-reaching innovation, I would say, right? And that led me to working with people that were passionate about developing innovation centers, incubators, startup funding, and things like that. And being involved with these kinds of people sparked my interest and also renewed my passion to contribute to emerging markets. Nigeria is one, and Dubai is also another one. So I would say it started from a simple vision and also my interaction with like-minded people that wanted to contribute to innovation ecosystem. With Dubai, I'm super impressed. I've been here for about 5 years doing this, and I've seen it grow in leaps and bounds. First of all, Dubai, as you all know, it's a central point, it's a hub for the entire world. And I believe the ecosystem here, the people here, the innovators here have been able to harness that strength of Dubai being a hub. And they've tried to weave in different ways the value of Dubai into innovation. And that has played out in different ways. We see now government incubators springing left, right, and center. We see private incubators, co-working spaces. There's a growing base of angel investors and institutional investors. So yeah, I'm super impressed. I think it has grown faster than I thought it would grow. And yeah, I do hope we see similar trends in Nigeria also. Yes, I do. To answer it simply, a longer answer will be to say, why do we need more clusters? So if I look at an example of Canada now, the government is investing in setting up different super clusters. They call them innovation super clusters, right?
They're spending money on that.
They're spending money on that themselves. They're spending money on that. And you will see that these super clusters is a very deliberate attempt to, in some way, democratize the innovation space. When you have one cluster, the startups will, of course, come to the cluster. The ones that can will come to the cluster. But what happens is that it affects their own scalability and also the access of emerging startups, right? When you have more clusters than one, like geographically spread across a country or a particular community, you allow the startups to think more of scalability because they are sure that by spreading their tentacles to different areas in terms of geography, they can harness the support structures of the other clusters, right? So I've seen this happen in Dubai. I've seen this happen in North America. I've seen this happen in most parts of Europe. We cannot have one cluster in Nigeria. What one cluster will do eventually is to create innovation superstars, as you've said, and then leave out the remaining, I wouldn't call them masses, but the remaining innovators that don't have as much spotlight on them as possible. So we want to remove the spotlight from one particular cluster. We want to see how we can democratize the spotlight of innovation. And I think having different clusters within Lagos or within Nigeria is a place to. You're talking in terms of Nigeria, right?
Yes.
So I see Kenya, I see South Africa. I see that they've, well, you could say PR about innovation, right? Or PR around startup and tech innovation. But the truth is that it's happening. It's not just pure PR, right? So we don't want to do PR without a substance. What you want to avoid is that innovation becomes a branding exercise. So let's settle that first. Nigeria needs to, and we are there, but I think we need to, in terms of talent, in terms of the community, it needs to be strong. It needs to be pronounced and emphasized by the different contributors to the ecosystem. And when I say contributors, I'm talking of government, I'm talking of universities, angel investors, other VCs, and things like that, right? So we need to come together as a community first And I think the natural consequence of that is the PR, right? Now, you could say also that we need to also be deliberate in promoting innovation or promoting Nigeria as an innovation hub. Yes, we do, but not without the strong substance of innovation actually happening, right? So Kenya, for example, is doing very well. They probably have some of the biggest or the most vibrant tech hubs and tech co-working spaces now in Africa.
Is it because of government support or what?
I think it's a mixture of both. They have good talent. They have government support for sure, because their dependence on their talent is probably more pronounced than us in Nigeria. We are dependent on a lot more things in Nigeria. So think about the biggest innovation clusters in the world. Think about Silicon Valley. You have Stanford around it, right? Think about Boston. You have MIT and Harvard around it. Think about Toronto. You have Waterloo. You have University of Toronto around it. So the innovation centers being in the university is not the main thing. The main thing is for the universities to be able to create in some way their proximity to the innovation centers. What I mean by that is universities should know that they are probably the biggest sources of talent, of skill, and innovation in the world, right? And having this knowledge and having this consciousness will help them contribute towards creating a hub around themselves, right? So I'm not canvassing for universities having their innovation centers and the students working from the universities. No, I'm simply saying that around the university is a community. Around where I grew up in, for example, which is a university town, is a community. Universities need to contribute to that community, and from there, the natural consequence will be innovation centers springing out of that community. So I see it as universities not being the center of it, but probably the biggest contributors of it. I wouldn't say I built it, first of all. I would say I was part of a team that have built different kinds of hubs, right? So that being said, my plan for Nigeria is that we are launching a hub in Nigeria, which is a combination of an incubator, an accelerator, and a venture fund. It's called the glasslab.ng. Very soon, it's going to be fully operational. And one of the things that we hope to achieve, myself and our partners trying to start this, is to contribute to the quality of innovation coming out of Nigeria. So going beyond the new wave of so many hubs springing out in the country. Going beyond the new wave of hubs springing up in the country, the question is, do we have the right talent in the country, right? I believe that by creating a hub that focuses on talent and quality innovation within certain verticals, we are focusing on hardware, fintech, education, and media. Within these verticals, we'll be able to go beyond the normal, the status quo of hubs currently in the country. So this is the plan. Yes, it does. It does. So ideas can stay as ideas, but for them to move into actual value-providing innovations, you need funding. And that is one of the reasons why we in GlassLab, we've decided that beyond a hub, beyond a co-working space or an incubator, we need to have a venture fund attached to this, right? The venture fund will help to move the startups from early stage to growth stage, and from growth stage towards pure ventures, huge ventures that we hope to be. And we are looking forward to some unicorns coming out, to be honest, right, out of this space. And having this venture fund I believe, is the primer that will drive this kind of growth.
That's our show for today. Please follow us on social media, and don't forget, you can watch these and previous editions of the show on the Channels TV YouTube account or via my blog cfatech.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwuemeka Agbata.